Welcome to another Halloween horrifying forecast from Joey Only, the Caribou Weather Dude here in Wells, BC, 3,953 feet above sea level in the Caribou Mountains, where it's snowing really hard out there right now. She's coming down good. It won't stop. It's crazy. It's out of control. Actually, it's going to stop very soon. It's going to stop very, a couple hours. And then Halloween's going to come and it's going to start all over again. Let's go. There it is.
This is bad news. My God.
Falling out right now.
I didn't think it happened.
Get on! Wow.
I'll watch the video later.
They drive up in this. So listen, friends, Halloween's coming. I know you're going to be trick-or-treating with your kiddies there, walking around. They're all going to be dressed up as ghosts and goblins and ghouls. Ghouls and ghosts and goblins and Draculas and vampires and things and Frankensteins. And unfortunately, you got a bit of a storm coming. That's maybe going to make it some challenging conditions for the children. Could be pretty rainy, for example. Someone in Nanaimo told me that they're looking at their forecast being like, we could break our record for rainfall in a day or whatever, So there's some big time. We've been in this pattern of storm. They just keep coming. You look across the Pacific Ocean right now, and it's there's 50 of them lined up. There's 1 million storms out in the Pacific. And they're all coming to BC, and they're all coming to make things terrible. That's right. Welcome to my forecast video this morning, friends. Let's have a look at all the maps. Let's talk about what's going on. Let's get on with the show. Hit like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend if you have any friends, at least. If maybe tell one or two of them. Okay, now we are looking at the anal surface map here from Environment Canada today. You can see there's the big butthole right off the coast right there, a big L, and then there's a big H over here and a big L. So what's going on? East Coast is going to take a bit of there's a special weather statement, for example, for rainfall and things like that up the East Coast. Of course, we got a hurricane out here somewheres as well that just went through Cuba last night. Then we got this big low-pressure system off the BC coast. That's made things pretty nasty at times, and it's making it nasty right now here, actually, shoveling some crap in. We got low that's sitting up there near the Manitoba and Saskatchewan border. You can see Nunavut's there in Northwest Territories there. That should be one of those places in America where you have the 4 states, the border. There should be a thing there that you go to that's you can stand in 4 provinces and territories at once. They should listen to all my ideas. They're really good for tourism. So here's that new low chugging on in. Here's the last one going on out, and it's making its way out towards, like I just said there, the Four Corners area. And you can see here's this bank of cloud moving over the Caribou, moving over the Rockies, and it's making some snowfall down the Rocky Mountains, especially down southern side there. I can understand there's been a fair bit of snow falling down by Crow's Nest Pass area, and you can kind of get the idea where our next system is going to be coming at us from. You can see the big low. You can see the churning motion of it, counterclockwise motion, sending the crap right to us, and it's going to be in time for Halloween. One thing you notice right away is that this big low is pushing some warmer temperatures up, although I'm not seeing it here at 1.3 degrees in Wells. Maybe someone in southern BC is going to see some of that today. You can see some of that today, maybe. You got a bit of a ridging coming up ahead, so that should bump things up a little bit nicer for Thursday. Thursday will be a nicer day, clear out a little bit, some clear skies, maybe a little bit of sunshine, and then we come to Friday, where storm system is now approaching the north coast, and then by Saturday, most of the province is now coming underneath the crap. Maybe the very, very lowest areas near the border. Well, let's see. That's just geopotential height. So let's see what this means now when we put it towards looking at some models. Here's Tomerberg's site there, Polar WX. This is last weekend we're looking at. You can see there our weekend storm come on through Sunday, get a little bit of a clearing there in time for Monday. There's the region that came up, and then here comes the next storm that we just had on Tuesday. Here it is, whammo. That's what we just had. Nice tail behind it. Seriously fun system we had there. And then here's the next one, Thursday, hitting the north coast. It's going to open up the door for the guy in behind it. So how that plays out today so far, as you can see, we got maybe up to the Pine Pass, even down some of the 16 corridor. Here in Wells, a threat of snow, and then down, this side of the Rockies, that threat of snow today. A little bit of precip on the coast as well, but we are in a clearing day, an improvement day, despite the fact it hasn't started very improvingly. By tomorrow, we catch that high pressure, catch it nice afternoon there. You can even see some of the temperatures bumping up. We might get well above 0 tomorrow in some parts of BC. Maybe not. Depending if you live up in the north, looks like you're probably not going to see a big bump up in temperature. But this mid-latitude cyclone's dragging the warm air up ahead. Oh, that looks great. That looks great. Look at that right there. You can see the red lines there coming right towards Weld. Like, use a warmer day for a change, okay? So here's Friday, and look at the precip that's going to come in off this now. Boom, you can see in the mountains we got that nice mix of freezing rain even. We got sleet possible. You got heavy rain on Vancouver Island. You got a bit of rain and precip up in the north somewhere in like, Amanika or something like that, right? Now you got the mountain passes as you come overnight into Saturday, between Friday and Saturday overnight. You're going to have Highway 99 be pretty bad. You're going to have the Coca Hall be pretty bad. I would be careful on Highway 3. It's looking kind of nasty there. Certainly if you want to go down to Bella Coola, you're going to be, fighting the crap to get there. And that's going to move in province on Saturday. And that's going to, again, disrupt highways over. Certainly it looks like the Revelstoke Golden route there, Rogers Pass, is going to be pretty gross. Southern BC having a good mix of precip there. Going to see some slippery conditions up at the Pine Pass there. As we get late Saturday, you're looking at maybe taking some more snow. Here in Wells, looking like we're taking some more snow. Down the Caribou Mountains, Rocky Mountains, looking like we're taking some snow there Saturday. So we got good system moving in for the weekend. That should turn things crappy. Then we get our little break again. The pattern around here. You get a little break here, things clearing out, improving out. Hey, this isn't so bad. Wow, look at a brand new month. It's so nice. Oof, shot put right in there next Tuesday. Look out. Yeah, we'll come back to that in a minute, but I just want to kind of point out how intense some of these storms are coming off of the Pacific Ocean. For example, Sartine Island had 165 kilometer an hour wind gusts reported. So did Solander, just 1 kilometer less. Cape St. James still producing hurricane force winds there. And Herbert Island and Kumshawa Island's not too far behind. And as you can see, those are heavy winds. You're talking 165 kilometer an hour. That's hurricane force winds. Now, it's not the same kind of hurricane force wind that just hit Jamaica and Cuba. No, those are highly advanced, very powerful, structurally, a lot of integrity to that hurricane Melissa that just came through there. So, we're producing winds that are more like 320 kilometers an hour by the time it hit Jamaica when it landed. Sure, but still, 165. That you are in hurricane force wind category right there. So just, keep in mind that sometimes these storms, like we talk about them, people are like, you're just trying to sell fear, man. You're just trying to, because it's Halloween, so you're trying to make people scared. And when the reality is that, these are pretty strong storms, man. They're wonderful. They're very impactful and wonderful storms. And of course, what we do want is the rainfall. We want a while of the rain. We're enjoying the storm pattern. It's largely beneficial. Sometimes we have a few things that happen, like power outages. There's power outages last night in Vancouver Island that I'm aware of, where there was over 2,500 people without power sometime last night. I know there was some power outages in McBride last night. So I'd like to give you some advice at a time. To be like, well, be prepared for the fact you might have no power tonight. I'm trying to do you a nice thing. I'm not trying to make you scared. Take 2. I had my face in the way the entire time there. That's terrible. So here's that little low going through today through Saskatchewan. You can see if you're north of Saskatoon, you might start taking some snow like Meadow Lake did. You can see 0 degrees there, Fort McMurray. You go down a bit south there. Regina's a bit warmer. You can see that's where the rain falls in the front. You can see the snow falls in the back because the counterclockwise motion of the low is dragging warm air from the south, and it's feeding off cold air from the north. Things cleared out nicely on Thursday in central BC. Looked like it. Most of the province looking pretty good. We got that low moving through Saskatchewan, bumping over to the Manitoba side there early in the morning. Again, some snow there through the middle to northern half of Saskatchewan. That's making its way over to Manitoba Thursday morning. We'll be watching for that there. I'm sure if you are paying attention to Weather Center Manitoba, their Facebook page, they will tell you more and more about it than I will. I just kind of like to give you the broad spectrum of it. You can see the winds are really picking up on Thursday off Haida-Gwaii. You're going to see that getting stronger, windier. Just for an example, we'll put the wind gusts on here and have a look at what are we talking about for wind gusts on Haida-Gwaii on, the afternoon. In the neighborhood, not far from you, there's 140s. There's 140s not far from you, right? So we'll hit play here and we'll watch for a second how this is going to move on in. Hit play. What kind of winds? Up to 95s, 97s. So Haida-Gwaii, expect expect some major wind. I know you're used to it. Like, that happens here. You know, I get it. 140 up there. That's some powerful, powerful winds. I know that you're used to these mid-latitude cyclones. You're used to these October storms and November storms. But, you know, I'm here to warn you anyways so that you have your candles ready on Thursday night. Now ready for possible power outages. Heavy wind there. Here comes the rainfall. Winds are getting strong up the coast there. Up Vancouver Island as this bastard's squeezing on in. You can see the rainfall starting to get heavy near Terrace. You can see that the snowfall starting to pick up in the coast mountains pretty good there. And now we have run out of short range, high definition mapping. So we're going to head over to the ECMWF model now and look at their lower res, but very efficient, effective weather forecasting model they have. We don't have much going on anywhere else, so we'll stick to BC here. See the rainfall. Burns Lake taking the rain, the big mountains taking some snow, heavy rainfall on the coast there. A bit of mix of rain and snow in the Pine Pass there Friday afternoon. Sloppy conditions. If you got weekend plans, you are battling this. You're going to have to go over Coquihalla Pass. You're going to have to go over Allison Pass there. You're going to have to go over Highway 3. You're going to go over the Pine Pass. You're going to start running into crappier weather as you get into Friday night. Northern BC taking mostly snow. Lots of rain in southern BC in front of this thing. It will drag some cooler air down eventually, but no, we're not. We're enjoying a nice kind of bump up in temperatures there. Look at that. Vancouver 10 degrees, Prince George up to 7, even in the middle of the night. So, you know, warm temperature is 6 degrees at 2 in the morning for Prince George Saturday morning. That just kind of gives you an example of like how much this will actually fall as rain. This is a bump up in temperature. But if you're in the high country, if you're in the big mountains, if you're going over mountain passes, you are most certainly going to run into snow. Here's a low. It's kind of establishing itself up in the north. You can see heavy snowfall through the Richardson Mountains, heavy snowfall on the border of Northwest Territories and the Yukon. Heavier snow out towards those regions. We'll come back down here, see that northern Saskatchewan taking a mix of rain and snow. Things starting to clear out later on Saturday, but you know it takes a little while to clear out. So like the main low is kind of past, but then as we go over the night, you kind of see like some lingering flurries are still continuing on. Northern BC especially taking that into Sunday morning, but things start to clear. There's the H by the end of the weekend, and we can start next week seeming like everything's okay. You know, it's like going to start getting better and better and better. Of course, it doesn't mean that everything's completely clear on Sunday. It just means like we are seeing the conditions will start improving. However, once the conditions start to improve and we start getting into that complacent, like, oh, yeah, things are great finally again, you know, what's going to happen is this guy's going to come in right here. He's going to shot put in. Ready? Wait for it. Bam. And then here comes the main show. Tuesday into Wednesday, boom, where's that shot putting? Next week we're gonna have another. It's basically you look across the Pacific right now, and all there is crappy weather. So we get into this precipitation forecast. Get into it. Let's have a look right now. We'll just go across the ocean right now and have a look. Like, what do we see? See 1, 2, 3 lows still parked out there. So be patient. The bad weather will slowly start to work its way out. You know, don't get too comfortable once things get a little bit better tomorrow, and be ready for if you have any weekend travel plans, please be paying attention to drivebc.ca. Please be paying attention to my forecast here. Please be paying attention to your own forecasting tools that you use, because a lot of messy road conditions. I know people were already pretty shocked at how bad driving conditions were last night. You know, it's like, well, it's that time of year now. So just try to do each other a favor and remind each other, like, you know, pick good times to travel, you know, safe windows, that kind of stuff. Hit like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, become a channel member. Would appreciate seeing you every day here. We can. Joey on the Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel. Talk to you soon.